And our key player matchup is going to be Explosives versus Dezonide. Pretty much the two, I would say the two IGL / flex players. They can pretty much do it all for their team. They can set the rotations. They can be a big-time slayer out in the front lines for their teams. They are able to do pretty much anything and everything that's being asked of them. Wouldn't you agree, PR?
No, I definitely agree. Time and time again, Explosive just overall being a monster support player that can turn it on at the drop of a dime. Dezonide on the other side of things, taking up or stepping up to that leadership role since the departure of Identives, and he's kind of slaying out. We know what sort of accolades and sort of skill set he does possess. So going into this matchup, we talk about a man-to-man, head-to-head, but it's going to be overall come down to the team play. Who's going to be executing? Who's on fire? How you start these games, and most importantly, Colin, how you finish these games well.
And we're going to have to see which of these players ends up leading their team a little bit more in whatever category they so choose. I mean, sometimes we've seen Dezonide go on massive blanks, get a bunch of kills, really rack up that kills category. Other times we've seen him sit back, try to station the troops around in front of him, say, look, this is where the push is going to come from. I'll throw my flash for you, Lancer out, and then you see his assist start to build up. Explosive is the same kind of player. He can do it all, and so one of these players will end up popping off for their team, and I think they might be the linchpin on the reason their team either succeeds tonight or goes home with one more L on their resume going into that mid-split playoff. But I'm pretty sure the pick and bans have been done for quite some time for these two teams because I've been japping my flap for way too long. Foundation picked out first, PR, by the side of eUnited, a map that we have seldom seen them on this quarter, this split, whatever you want to call it. And now, right here at the last night of the split, you said we might not see many crazy things come out, but we got one. We found it.
Definitely see some crazy things going out, but for a team like eUnited, we're not having the best season, not performing where you're used to. This is where you use these last opportunities to try to test the waters, especially against one of the best teams in the game right now in the Pittsburgh Knights. So even though, yeah, I'm a little bit surprised to see Foundation in the lineup, overall, you got to expect the unexpected in this scenario. And honestly, both of these teams have to be expecting the unexpected because this is the last time these teams are going to be able to face against each other before that mid-split payoff. This is everything on the line in terms of maybe you're throwing trick straps, maybe you're just doing base strats, maybe you're trying something new for the first time ever that you might not even have plans on using, but you just want to see how it works.
We're going to have to see if any of those strats, anything that eUnited might throw at the wall, see if it sticks like some nice cooked spaghetti, because that's how you know when it's done is you throw it against the wall and it actually sticks. That's when you know spaghetti's all over. Anyway.
I just taste it, you know. I just like
you just taste it. Look, I like to ruin drywall.
I was like, sometimes you get a hard noodle, but it's okay. You know it's not done. You put it right back in the water. You keep trying. Okay, let's just keep going.
I'm sorry, PR.
Okay, no. Let's just pretend that never happened.
Moving it on. Like the Jeffersons were moving on up, and like Jacob and Colin were moving on to our prediction segment. And I'll start us off, PR. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Look, me and the boys on eUnited, it's kind of turning into a bit of abusive relationship because every time I pick them, they let me down. I got a black eye. But I'm not leaving my man, all right? I'm not turning my back yet. I haven't walked out the door and gotten in a car. I'm picking them one more time. eUnited to beat Pittsburgh Knights on the final night of Pro League before the mid-split playoff. God, why is my record so terrible?
Honestly, Colin, ours is about the same here at this point. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. We need to get into the action. Forget what I said before, but honestly, this is honestly one of the best matchups we're going to watch. eUnited versus Pittsburgh Knights. I know where your allegiance lies all day long, every single day. eUnited, doesn't matter what colors they're wearing. It has Colin written all over it. And honestly, I would not have anybody else being on the other side of this rivalry than Colin the Crow Clark. I'm going to continue this rivalry. My boys on the Pittsburgh Knights are not only going to come out on top, they're going to show eUnited why you don't use the Pro League as a testing of proving grounds to go up against us.
For your sake and your record, because I need one of us to beat Chat. Well, we're not going to beat Chat if you win because we know who they're picking. There ain't no, just put it up there. There's no reason to close out.
I'm not even going to kid myself. I'm not even going to kid myself with that one. Colin's about to freak out right now.
Look, I knew who they picked before we started the prediction, all right? Stop the count, all right? It was bad enough. I knew what was coming down the train tracks at me. I know I'm alone in this pick, but I just maybe they come away with it. Because at the end of the night, these are still 8 of the best players on the planet. Anything can happen. They are old and longtime rivals. They have played each other probably more than Carter's got liver pills. So this is going to be a fantastic matchup one way or the other. And of course, you see it like eUnited, they pull out Foundation. They're going to throw that curveball. Pittsburgh Knights, they go back to the wishing well. They said, look, we're going to district. And we've seen hide nor hair of people that can super challenge us on district. So we're going to have to see how good you're actually playing because we're going to a map that we've pretty much dominated. I just see it as one of those situations where eUnited have got to play at the best of their ability and they've got to have some things fall their way. Pittsburgh Knights, they've got to have a quick turnaround because to me, that loss to Fire and Ice was a blemish to me. I mean, they lost night 1 to Vanquish. And then they steamroll the competition. They absolutely become a monstrosity. And then they fall to Fire and Ice. And I'm not saying it's a blemish because Fire and Ice is some bad team. I'm saying it's a blemish because Pittsburgh Knights continuously get put in the situation where they have to be the best team in the world. And they don't have any championships to show for it. And so losing right before a playoff, losing right before a major, it should be a wake-up call. And that wake-up call needed to get them into this matchup. If I don't see them 2-0 eUnited right here, that just gives me cause to pause coming into the Saturday and Sunday tournament.
Yeah, I like what you said. Those are some great words, but right now, honestly, with the map cycle going up against eUnited, or at least in my opinion, even if the Pittsburgh Knights take this like my predictions say, I don't want to dig too deep into this series because I know eUnited, they're kind of saving it all, or at least in my opinion, for the major, or at least if history does repeat itself. They use these last second matches before that major does roll around to kind of tighten up their strategies and figure it out. So even though I do think the Pittsburgh Knights are going to take this series, I would not be surprised if it's almost all for nothing towards the very end, because we know eUnited is not going to take first off of this one. This is more important for Pittsburgh Knights to take this series than it is for eUnited. And that's why I said this is more of kind of like a learning lesson, the last bit of learning opportunity for eUnited going to that mid-split payoffs. But honestly, Colin, I just want to see another map number 3. I want to see 27 straight rounds. I want to see each one of these teams, each one of these players pull me wrong. And I want to see you go to bed as late as ever if you're going to beat me in predictions.
I mean, look, I can agree with me going to bed late as ever because, look, as an old man, I should have been in bed about 2.5 hours ago. I'm going to tell you that. I should have had dinner at 4:30. Been on my porch with an ice cold glass of tea by 5:30, just watching the sunset over the beautiful hills of Virginia. But instead, it's 9:30. I'm waiting on players to get into the lobby so that I can launch 2 of the best teams in the world trying to fight it out over a last match in the Pro League for this split going into this playoff scenario. And I like how you put it. I mean, again, I know it sounds right now that you and I are just basically saying, you're right. No, you're right. No, you're right. But it's hard to disagree when you're the smartest person I've ever met in years outside of Kenny. And I'm just hanging on to both your coattails. That's all. It's the hardest. It's the hardest thing to do.
I take back my exactly. That's not exactly what I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say because the level of these teams
PR,
are
you want to
so
tell
close.
him or you want me to tell him?
Yeah.
You want to tell him or you want me to tell him?
I'll let you go ahead and tell him.
We have a small issue. Pittsburgh Knights have requested a little 3-minute delay, basically. So we're just going to throw it to a quick break. We hope you all come back after the break and are ripping and raring and ready to go because hopefully the players will be. We'll see you right after this. Oh, hey. They started maybe?
Stop the count.
No.
We all got debated here on this one. No commercial break. Make sure you guys get back. Hopefully you guys had it going through your speakers because if you guys went and took a break, hopefully we'll have some replays for you guys. Maybe some action. Hopefully this round does go 2, maybe 3 minutes so these people can come back with a fresh bucket of popcorn, their iced tea filled up to the top, man, and maybe they're going to grab some napkins because this is going to be a sweat fest, honestly.
I need the transition at this point. I'm just mad. I'm just mad, dog. I get told the voice of God doesn't lie to me, so I feel like we should throw it to a break anyway. Screw the first round. I don't care who wins it.
Ads, let's go.
Run them ads, baby. Run them back.
I see that every time in a popular streamer. Hey, can you run a Twitch ad? That used to be me. Hey, I need to test my ad blocker. Can you run an ad?
Sub up or no round 1.
Ooh, the threats, but the action finally underway. All the debate is out the window. And you see the strategies already on this initial dead even. 2 underneath, 1 player in the middle each, and 1 player up top. And this is where you're going to have a lot of push and pull, a lot of teasing going on, whether you're fake upping covers, where you're going for that flash grenade play, a well-placed smoke on one side of the map, being answered back with flashes. So nobody able to get an upper hand just yet.
Being able to get an upper hand just yet, being very precautious in these top street fights as well. They have to be careful. Kenny is up here, trying to get shots on the Raver, trying to open up that middle of the map lane push. Monkyz might challenge this. I like the aggression. There's the extra flash out from the middle of the map. Monkyz has that box. Gonna get a couple of pellets on. You see Kenny go for the wrap, but now Xplosive rotates to the top of the map. There's a 3v2 bottom side. They're gonna get shots on the Raver, who's gonna be full red. Powerz is down though. He's been left to his own devices in the cave, and you see Praized pulling all the way back to the home hill. Now it looks like eUnited is gonna set up home to home in this situation.
And I need to be careful here. There is somebody backtracking Xplosive. I feel like they know, I feel like they know somebody's there. They might not know exact position, but a well marked going to come through. Damage being fired back. Xplosive gets down, but Monkyz there in the nick of time, not only to get the elimination, but to save Dezonide's life as well. But during all that action, eUnited was able to not only take over 2 hills, but get themselves a 30+ point lead as well along the way. So they're going to have a lot of coming back to do as Monkyz goes down, trying to get his home hill back. The swarm is going to continue. Powerz gets the down again. Reinforcements are coming a little slow, but they're going to be there just in time. Actually, no, Powerz. I don't know how Powerz went down to Raver.
Unsure, but he goes ahead and has to bleed out. Now Praized is trying to fight off Sumuns, but he's going to get 2v1 at the bottom of the cave. Now they find Kenny in the middle of the map, staggering these deaths pretty picture perfectly. You see Xplosive just trying to hold off this wave of players from the Pittsburgh Knights, bouncing down into Raver's face. They get that down, but Xplosive now is kind of in a position where he has to push toward the B hill, but it's not going to be in time, I believe. As you can see, no, there's the reset. Good job by Praized to at least get into the home hill. Challenge up, but he's going to continue to get defensively played out. He does get the head down, shot on, and kill. Kenny's there to clean up the trade. Xplosive is down from the backside. This is still very close. It's on the knife's edge. You're going to see Pittsburgh Knights slowly pull away with the point lead, though, and probably hit the 200-point marker first. eUnited has to find a way to break into one of these hills, whether it be B or A. Gonna have to find a break, and it's gonna be on the back of an extra rotation. I believe Xplosive is coming through the middle of the map now. He's gonna pressure up onto Sumuns and Raver. Flashes out. Powerz will find that first kill, and you can see Pittsburgh maybe even debating whether they're going to push across over to Kenny. Xplosive catches Dezo in the middle of the map, not giving him a chance, and there's the down, and they get the down up top as well. Everybody downed or dead right now, and it looks like they're going to be able to cap up the A-hill, or at least decap it. Raver's going to go for B. So we'll have domination coming through. Raver's going to go for the Lancer Fire to try to get damage onto Xplosive, but I don't know if it's going to be in time. There's only 10 points left needed. You see the win condition back over to eUnited. Kills coming through. Dezonide, he gets him to scamper away. The decap comes through, but Swarm have the win condition, and my God almighty, eUnited, they take round 1 in the matchup against Pittsburgh Knights.
Talk about taking round number 1, Colin. That was absolutely stolen away from the very beginning portions of that one. eUnited had 2 hills. Great plays, great effort being made from Pittsburgh Knights to try to hold on to that one, but it just seemingly wasn't enough. And the one thing I kind of hinted at the start of the match, but I didn't really get to touch on, is how important this match actually is for the Pittsburgh Knights, because I talked about United. They're not going to be able to get first. This is a huge test for them. But the Pittsburgh Knights, they have that matchup against Noble under their belt with, I do believe, a 2-0 series early on in the season. If they're able to take this one and minimize the amount of round losses, I do think the potential for them to take first overall in the Pro League is there. So Pittsburgh Knights, with everything on the line in this matchup.
1-0 we go, and opposite ends of the spectrum. Boltok up top, Boltok down low, answering that same call that you were asking for earlier with the differing strategies by teams.
Throwing smoke!
You see the smoke out from the Pittsburgh Knights. Praized answers back with a little bit of Lancer Fire and a mark there on Dezonide. Another smoke comes through. They push up toward B, and it looks like Dezo's gonna go for the up A, and he gets it on, or he gets a back A onto Xplosive. Beautiful job with the wall run right there. Didn't have to wait for that shot delay. He simply had to come off the wall with the shot. That is just gorgeous mechanical ability by Dezonide to get that kill.
Oh no, Kenny. Almost dead to rights there, takes a ton of damage. That's going to be a big trade coming through. I would love to see Monkyz try to stagger that death just a little bit more, but they already have 2 hills under their control. They don't need to do a little bit too much. Nice shots from Xplosive over the top, but as soon as Kenny spawns, that's when you're going to start to see eUnited begin to try to make a little bit more plays. You see down low, they're going to start that aggression coming through, but nobody in the middle just yet. That's where Kenny comes in. He's going to try to rush into that positioning. It does look like he's going to go up against Raver in the middle, but Kenny's going to have to find some sort of a way to get in towards the middle to try to stretch out these numbers. And that's exactly why he's going in towards close, because if he were to went the other way, the players from PK can kind of see that one coming and make a move accordingly. But since he went on this side, both of these players from the Pittsburgh Knights have to watch out defensively.
The Pittsburgh Knights have a 2v1 in cave, and they've already gotten Powerz down. They're going to clean him up, which is going to give them the ability to press out toward the top street area. Xplosive has to be careful of the flank right here. You see player 1, that's going to be Dezonide, just outside of A, trying to just... He's actually being sneaky right here. I think he's waiting for Powerz to come back off of respawn. They have to know he's in the area. There's the call out. They get a full red. Dezonide trying to get any downs or damage possible. Now it's up to Sumuns, who's playing the middle of the map. He's going to rotate back toward the B hill. He's going to be stuck on that first green cover. He's going to go down as he gets to the corner. 2 players of the Pittsburgh Knights are there. They're in the area. Kenny's going for the decap momentarily, but the double lancers will get the quick down onto Kenny. And it looks like they're returning fire. Triple cap domination. Last second. eUnited take it 2-0. My God, PR back-to-back rounds. eUnited, they're coming out hot, baby. They're coming out with a vengeance in those retakes.
Back-to-back rounds, like you said. Pittsburgh Knights have a good footing, control over the round, and eUnited just steal it away out from under them. And it comes a way of getting the right eliminations at the right time. They're catching multiple players off guard, catching multiple players out of positioning. It's one thing I've talked about this squad of eUnited for years. The way they play these triple cap domination scenarios, the way they play with the aggression on is just on another level from the majority of these teams. And you talked about the early difference in weapon placement. Pittsburgh Knights, they're getting ready for the second half with that retro towards the top half. eUnited getting ready for the second half with that retro towards the bottom half when it does go towards that statue.
Powerz down low in the cave. He's next to Praized. They're playing the 2v2 position down here. Last round, we saw an early smoke and then them rotating out to that middle of the map. Have to be careful here. Kenny wins another fight up top against Monkyz. Another 1v1-1. And now the mark on Raver. Kenny gets that first shot, and even with the flash coming in, Raver has to pull back. He has to play defensively, and there's the shots from the middle to get it down on him. Kenny's going to go ahead and finish him off. Xplosive will have Dezo in his face. The double revives might come out, but it was not in time for eUnited. Praized will trade with 1. He'll step back into B. Kenny still alive at the home hill of the Pittsburgh Knights. And this roll from Dezo finds him down and dead. Kenny has to win another 1v against Monkyz, but now it's a 2v1. Kenny's going to go down, but the 2-1 hill advantage will be in favor of eUnited early in this round number 3. They can continue to pressure up if they choose. They get it down on Sumuns. Will they go for the kill? Praized a little over-aggressive, a little too greedy. He's going to go down. That should open it wide up for Pittsburgh to push back against the tide. Powerz, oh my God, with a little sneaky deaky right there. Got a little freaky deaky with that kill as well. You see Monkyz having to rotate out, having to run away from the power of Powerz. There's a third shot and a down and a kill. Powerz damn near unstoppable in those fights when he gets first shot damage on, and this is going to be a hard sled for Pittsburgh Knights to come back in as they've already been doubled up in points.
Last first 2 rounds, Pittsburgh Knights was in complete control. eUnited stealing them away. Round number 3, eUnited in full control. Pittsburgh Knights are going to have to take a page out of eUnited's playbook. It starts right there with Sumuns taking out Kenny. Pittsburgh Knights taking their home hill back. They have over 100 points to overcome still at this point in time. That there's 60 seconds at the top of your clock for that play to come through. They're going to need a triple neutralization while simultaneously not allowing anybody from eUnited to slip past like we see players do time and time again. That's going to be a big elimination on Xplosive to really start this last second push for the members of the Pittsburgh Knights. That's going to be staggered. 2 players attacking Powerz. No trade coming through. So 2 players dead from eUnited. The push is going to come through for Pittsburgh Knights. They're not going to stop. 3rd player goes down. So it looks like deja vu on the other side of the map. Kenny making a hero play, and he has the retro. He's not going to be able to get touched by Dezonide. I don't know who's going to be able to backtrack to take him out. Raver, it's your turn next. Game is on the line.
See the flash out onto Raver, shot forward. He gets 1 damage on. They're going to have a free reign run at B. eUnited is going to have 3 players in the area. Kenny schools Raver with a back A. Oh my God. Oh, almost the retro charge. Almost the retro charge. Kenny was going for the 5. He gives out that Cantus scream, and you see eUnited on your screen getting 3 rounds back to back to back, baby. They have started off hot and heavy. Oh my God, Kenny B bounce. Hit me with the PayPal. I'll give him with the second one. He might not get the full 10, but he gonna get 5 for that second one.
I'm looking at the chat right now. Calm, look at that chat. Where is the drop? Kenny talk now. And this is me speaking. I have Knights winning this game, but to see a player go off that kind of is not known for that sort of thing really shows. It really shows how eUnited is preparing for that mid-split playoffs. As Kenny is in your face, getting the slang and really taking over game, that is a scary thought. And you see Pittsburgh Knights. It doesn't matter if they have control over the game. It doesn't matter if they're trying to take control over the game. eUnited is just shutting it down. And this is eUnited I've been waiting to see almost all season long.
I know you can't see me, PR, but I'm losing my ever-loving mind right now in the chair. I love retro charge plays. Kenny's gonna pull back. He's still in the 1v1 against Monkyz. Monkyz is going wide. Monkyz didn't challenge him. That tells me something right there. That tips Pittsburgh Knights' hand a little bit. It's like they weren't taking eUnited to the full seriousness that they should. Kenny, for 2 rounds in a row, really made Monkyz pay up top on the top street. Now in round number 4, Monkyz said, I'm gonna go wide after the flash. I'm gonna try to lance you down. I'm gonna make this harder on you. And that is just what you need to do if you're gonna try to get these round wins. But Powerz, with a little bit of help from his friends down low at B, have gotten 2 kills. And now it is a 4v2 on the map until the respawns come out.
Be a big down on Praized as they try to fight for their lives. Luckily for them, this is still the early portions of the match, so anything can kind of happen. It can kind of go either way, but it has to be right moves being made. You see PK, multiple members going down B. Raver is going to try to get this mismatch on Kenny. Tries to take it wide, shuts him down. Powerz goes down as well, so this hill is definitely going to go over towards the Pittsburgh Knights. While this is all happening, you see the lone 2 members trying to push up, trying to overextend, but they're getting attacked at the same time. Xplosive needs this elimination. He's not going to get it. Praized tries to backtrack. He gets taken out as well. Triple cap sounding off. I don't think Kenny's going to be close enough, so finally, the Pittsburgh Knights, with a lead in this round, are able to close it out in a minute and a half, but that's the first one. You got to think eUnited had the opportunity there to kind of concede that one away, give it away 1 round. You know this is going to be a real test. You know the potential to go round number 9. You got to be able to shrug it off and move on to the next.
Do you how do I put this? You remember earlier in the night when we were talking about playing against Rated R and how Pels was just cooking them up, and we were like, kill Pels, finish Rated R off. Like, you take the head of the spear away. I don't know if anybody's ever said this before about teams since Gears 4 started. At this point, it's kill Kenny and win the round. Kenny has literally, every time he dies, Pittsburgh can take over the map. They are able to maneuver around the map, take positioning. Right now, Kenny is the reason that eUnited are in a 3-1 round count lead. We come to the second half. It will be at the E Hill. It'll be decided on this side of the map. This is just an absolute slugfest in a different couple of areas. I'm absolutely obsessed with how we are seeing the best shot out of eUnited, it seems like, onto the Pittsburgh Knights. They are giving them everything they can handle, and Pittsburgh Knights are not used to this back-to-back games under the bright lights on the big stage. Against Fire and Ice, they lose. Here against the United, they're down.
Got a big mountain to climb here against the United, and I like the way Kenny's positioned with those instants. I've seen him make some cheeky over-the-top instant plays before, but he's just gonna be watching over Powerz right here on statue, waiting for that perfect play. And that play where you get the cheeky kill is going to be Raver, but he fully backs out of middle. He doesn't even want to give up the potential for that play to go down, and he spots Xplosive, trying to give as much information over towards his team as possible. But as it stands right now, eUnited have all the options in the world. You could try to hold right now defensively, protect the E-Hill, not let the other team cap. With Xplosive in the middle, you can easily try to transition over to that side of the map, trying to catch Sumuns off guard in a 1v2 situation. I don't recommend, because he does have a retro, but if you know how the game works, pressure is on eUnited here to make the play.
Yeah, you're going to have to make that first move if you're eUnited. You can see that it's all tied up in the score part. Monkyz has that hammer burst. Sumuns down here just getting getting pelleted at by Praized. That's the best way I can describe that, as Praized continues to just try to up-A that corner, tries to get damage onto him, but Sumuns has the retro. It's going to be pretty hard to challenge that, and it's going to be almost even harder to challenge this bottom side of the map, as that retro, or excuse me, that hammer burst is almost, if not as deadly, if you can control the recoil and get 2 pulls of the trigger to really pretty much land top, shoulders, head area. You can put a lot of damage out and a lot of people down quickly with it.
Praized is brave.
Nobody's able to make a move yet.
He's brave. He's brave. He's going against Sumuns with that retro. I've seen Sumuns lock down that home hill time and time again. Finally, I think he's making this right play right there. But oh my, faking out early is going to be explosive. Talk about the pressure on the Swarm here to make a move. eUnited make a move, kind of give it up. Kenny goes down towards the top side. Now that hill is certainly going to go over towards eUnited. They're going to catch Powerz out, gets the down. So 3 players dead from eUnited on this initial. At the 150 score line, that's when all the moves are going to be made in this one. Sumuns goes down, but I do think he got himself a good cushion in both hills, points, and positioning in order to feel comfortable going down.
Oh yeah, you have to be okay with that death. You pressured eUnited out. You're making eUnited make these moves. Raver's gonna have that secondary retro. Kenny, he's gonna throw that flash, try to get into the area, but it's not gonna be in time, and it's not gonna be enough. This is a picture-perfect setup for them. Now you see the rest of eUnited has to slow up. They're getting a decap there onto the E hill. Monkyz gets the play back. He's got 42 more rounds with that hammer burst. He's gonna take over back statue. They still need a down and damage at the home hill, at that D hill, but I don't think it's going to be in time, and it's definitely not going to be enough with those extra kills coming through. Praized, last gasp, he goes to the up-A, and ladies and gentlemen, Pittsburgh Knights are roaring back in this one. That's their 2nd round of the road. They now tie it up 3, or they not tie it up, they bring it back 3-2, excuse me.
And this is where it does get interesting, because I almost can guarantee it. I'm like 99% sure, and that's why I said almost guarantee it. Pittsburgh Knights are going to want to leave their retro on the field. So if they have to upgrade, it's going to be upgraded towards 60 seconds on the other side of things. Or they can go ahead and use that Ensign, try to get that one out early. But I do know they love that retro. On the other side of things, it's almost kind of matched. So we're going to have a mirrored playing field in terms of weapons. So what looked like in the beginning, 2 different strategies going out, that was just for the first half of both teams favoring their Ensigns per statue fight and putting their retro on the home hill to play as much defense as possible.
Come to the 6th round of map number 1. Once again, it'll be on eUnited to make that initial push, that initial play. They will have right-hand advantage in the back part of the statue. Powerz will move up into the power position now. Dezonide might try to challenge him. A little bit red. He has to be careful not to go down here. It's that first back A, but Powerz shuts him down. And the incendiary from Monkyz, not good enough. Won't be able to find him. You see Kenny opening up and throwing, going deep from the center field, trying to make it all the way to the home plate, but won't be able to get this one. Double Lancers out trying to get damage there in the middle of the map onto Xplosive. And now you see eUnited. They have the ability to kind of set up, but if Xplosive goes down here, that could open things right back up. Praized is somehow down on the other side of the map, but I'm not sure how Praized got down in that position where he's top of the ramp. He's able to just shoot at people as they come up the ramp. I'm not exactly sure. I wish I could have seen it or been over there.
I'm a little scared right now for eUnited because of this 2-hill setup. We got to give them props for once again making the first move, and this time it worked out. It's just unfortunate Praized did go down, which kind of leaves one of the best setups in the game, in my opinion, for the Pittsburgh Knights. They can be gifted some retros towards the top half as well once that does spawn back up here in just a few seconds. So eUnited, the more time they waste here, it's going to actually work against them. So not only is Pittsburgh Knights going to have that scoreline, they have the opportunity at more retros. So they're going to have to try to make a split push sooner rather than later, in my opinion. But it's actually going to be 3 players trying to overextend towards the top side. There's no retro on this side of the map to try to defend that hill. So eUnited is going to get that one almost uncontested, as you see the member of Knights just giving it up, rotating around, trying to play in what strengths that they do have possessed.
Might try to go through closed right here. You see Raver's a little bit red. He's going to try to wait for his health to come back. He's going to peek out. He sees Praized. Flash out onto Praized. They're going to try to get the stun, but they get the down on him very quickly in the middle of the map, and it's going to be Kenny who gets called out by Dezo. That could open the home-to-home stretch yet again, as you see 3 players around Monkyz. They're going to get him full red. They're going to get him down and taken out. Still with the win condition. eUnited, I don't know if you over-threaten right here.
No.
Maybe you sit back.
I just would love to see Dezonide pick up that retro. I would love to see them spread it out, but I get why they didn't. Timing is of the essence. You can't necessarily wait for that one to come through. Xplosive goes down. No one able to clean it up just yet. Raver on the other side of the map goes down as well. This is literally 1 point separating these two teams with 2 members of PK going down. Praized is doing all he can to try to keep this one neutralized. Monkyz, though, taking inch by inch. Powerz is there to save him. Retro in the hands of Praized. This one is definitely going to come down to the wire. This is definitely going to be one huge fight, really changing the tides.
You can see the decap still at the home hill of the Pittsburgh Knights, and eUnited has won the home hill of the Pittsburgh Knights. Sumuns is left in a 2v1 situation. No reason for anybody to take any fights. eUnited find their 4th round of map number 1. Now on map point, going into round number 7 in PR. Beautiful teamwork. I think the linchpin of that was Powerz. He had the faith to pull back. He said, look, I might get Lancered in the back, I might go down, but I have a chance to get any shots on the Monkyz to help Praized get that down. It opens up the shot for Praized to get the retro, get the kill, get the hill, and allow for more members of eUnited to funnel back into the map. I think you got to give it to that play right there. That's got to be your key play of that round.
And that was that scary moment, like I said. You got to imagine how different that would be if Dezonide was able to pick up that second retro instead of Sumuns just simply getting ammo. I don't think anybody from eUnited would have been able to get past that. And that would have given him to hold on to one hill, allowed Vitality some time on the other side of the map. But the weapon selection, I talked about these retros and how important they are. Both teams choosing to have it every 60 seconds before they forcefully have to upgrade it from there or put a weapon center line.
Incendiary out on the Powerz. He's going to be a little red, little damaged, but he's going to be able to get back to safety. He has to be careful. You see the Incendiary from Kenny will find the kill. It's going to open things back up for Powerz. I don't know if you pressure or if you just go for the 2 hills right now to put the point spread in your favor. Powerz all the way across the map, trying to pressure on the Raver. The extra rotation from Xplosive out from the middle of the map. They get 1 down. Powerz has to hit another shot on the Monkyz. They get a 2nd down. Praise this 1 castle arcade. Excuse me, I'm running out of breath. And Dezo left to his own devices at his home hill. Now be here, waiting in the wings, just lurking. And Praized has to roll back. He got hit with an absolute concrete block there. But Raver been taken as a meat shield. Praized turns and burns. This is a possible triple cap domination situation. Flashes out. Nobody in the area. Ladies and gentlemen, eUnited strike first.
That's going to be a big win from eUnited. And on a map they don't even necessarily play all the time. So this is going to be a big one for the next map. They win theirs. eUnited going over to the Knights pick next. It's almost a must-win scenario. And I talked about the implications of this map for the Pittsburgh Knights. They had an opportunity to get first here in this series. I'm not sure how the math breaks down if they're still able to hold on to that one, but they do have that heads-up matchup against Noble. But I think because of the rounds, I'm not sure if they're going to be able to take it away from Vanquish. I think this one will continue.
And look, we go over to District now, which is a map that Pittsburgh has historically been good on, and especially because Pittsburgh has been able to put power weapons down at that cinema and just take care of big team fights. That's the worrying part for me with eUnited. eUnited won that map and that matchup because they were able to out-rotate Pittsburgh. They were able to get extra Lancer fire into different fights to allow their teammates to win those fights and win hills. Now you're going to be able to see if eUnited can keep up with them in that slaying category, because I doubt it goes too deep in the round count if Pittsburgh Knights find them down before they place that big power weapon and they say, look, you're gonna have to outpunch us at this point. We're tired of playing this game where we find somebody out of position and next thing you know, we're down and out. We don't have a chance to get back into it in a 2-to-1 setup. I doubt we see it go that deep before a big power weapon gets placed. My God, that play from Kenny. Yo, play that. Like, I know you can't just do it on, oh, whip for the retro. There's the melee and the meat shield. Oh, here it comes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I was about to say, it wasn't over yet. I know he got summoned with a retro charge there at the end. But honestly, that really shows right here how dominant these team of eUnited can be, because if you look at the history of explosive-led teams, they have some of the most win percentage or the most round wins in the second half of games. So when looking at that matchup or that stat line, the key to victory is strike first and strike hot, because you know that potential for them to come back late in the games is huge. So already early on, they stole the first 2 rounds away. So you got to keep that in the back of your head. If they're a better team in the second half, you can't let those 2 rounds go away, because they will concede some rounds away just so they can get to that next round sooner. eUnited is so good on these last second attempts for these rounds that you have to be careful. You have to play 200% effort, 100 for 50% of that round.
That's a lot of math for an idiot like me, PR. I couldn't help it.
I love it. I love it.
I heard you. I was trying to think about what you were saying, and every part of me was like, man, algebra was difficult. Like, that was all I could think about.
Trying to graph it, like,
I was like,
okay.
the sine and the cosine of what my man is saying is something. It's out there in the ether, but we don't know just yet. I'm not going to be able to figure it out. What I am going to figure out is that these teams are switching up the sides. We know that because map 1 was eUnited's map pick, they're playing over there on the Swarm. And I know we saw them a few weeks ago actually stay on Swarm the entire time. I doubt we see him do that again, because sometimes you just want to, you want to show off your brand new skin. Well, a couple weeks ago, I think the reason they did it, honest to God, is because Kenny finished the tour of duty and had the Blood Red Reyna, and he just wanted to play his Blood Red Reyna that you get for finishing Operation 6's tour of duty. I swear to God, I think that's what it was, because that's the only skin he's been playing since this is going over. This is like math to you, isn't it? I'm sorry. I'm
honestly
too excited
though,
about.
I should have not expected any different coming out of Kenny Bounce. Once he gets that character, man, he starts to get in a groove. He starts to get into a flow. And I'm looking at chat again. I'm looking this way. Where is those Kenny Bounce comments that I saw early on in the season? Because you got to realize there are roles. There are positions that certain players play in the game. Yes, some can play every role, but Kenny specializes in a certain strength. And the team of eUnited, they like to play into the strength of every one of those players. And that's what you got to do if you want to be a successful team. You can't expect a player that has a weakness really to kind of play into it as it's a strength. This isn't real life. You don't lean into those weaknesses to make you stronger. You got to play into your strengths almost the entire way.
I was really hoping that you were going to keep going, like where you're like, there's strengths, okay? There are roles, and I was hoping the voice of God had it clipped out where it's just Blaze just pops up over top of both of us and goes, there's levels to this.
I need my soundboard.
That would be the best thing I could imagine, to just have that on command from here on out. Like, every time I need y'all to understand something at home, I just hit him with the Blaze. I'm like, look, nobody said it better than Blaze. And then, bam, hit the red button. Here comes Blaze. There's levels to this. And then we move on with our life.
I expect God to go ahead and throw that actually sound clip into our Discord, because I'm going to need that one. Because I might use it during the mid-split playoffs, because we're going to be saying that a lot, the way some of these teams have been showing us.
Look, if eUnited wins this 2-0, I'm thanking the good Lord above that the voice of God doesn't have his soundboard, because he's got a clip of me saying Powerz, and thank God. No.
Send it over.
Because I feel like I would just hear that like 100 times in my ear, because it would just be how I felt on the inside. But I don't know if we're going to get to see that in 2 maps or not, because right now, eUnited, they go to Pittsburgh Knights map pick. They go to one of their stronger maps as well. This is going to be tough sledding for them, and as we've seen, one of the biggest strengths for Pittsburgh Knights is their ability to take over the middle of the map. But look at this, it's a little monkey wrench. It looks like Pittsburgh Knights are going to go across the bottom with, I believe that is Raver and Monkyz going through the bandstand and coming up from the bottom side of the map.
That contest, and usually you see a team like Pittsburgh Knights, when they're in this position, when they're going down low, when they're trying to take that position, they don't necessarily double contest towards the top side. But when you have one of the best 1v1 players in the game and Sumuns on your squad, you kind of let him loose. You kind of let him do what he wants. But he gets taken down early to Powerz. Everyone's trying to call him Rookie of the Year one of these years, maybe even 2 in a row, the way he's been playing. He's going to go ahead and stretch across. And I like the way he's doing this, because he's not wasting any time going for the hill. That makes somebody from PK have to backtrack and worry about him eventually. Unfortunately, Praized does go down. That puts a stop to that offensive plays Powerz is trying to do. It does look like he's going to try and make a sneaky play. Sumuns, you got to be careful, or you could be looking at another respawn.
Still tied up here. Nobody has taken over the B hill, and nobody has gotten a decap on their opponent's home hill. In the middle of the map, Raver has been called out. Powerz is trying to pressure up onto him. 2 shots on. Raver slides across. Powerz trying to hold his shot for the 3rd one. But there's the trade, and the quick revive comes out. Kenny trying to get in there just in time to get any downs or damage on. 3 members of eUnited funnel up through the middle of the map. My God, PK has a shooting gallery if they wish, and the Knights will come away with 2 out of 3 kills, and he'll be up to Praized, throwing his flash down, trying to just buy some time and make some space, but it will not be now, and it will not be today. Powerz with 1 kill, trying to make a miracle happen, but I don't think it's coming yet.
Doing a great job of bouncing back early on. Someone did go down towards the top half of the map on that neutral hill. And I like what I'm seeing here. Dezonide realizing not to bite off more than he can chew. You have the 2 hills. You have a good lead as well. You backtrack. Don't get eliminated, but you need to be careful. You're finding yourselves in another 1v2 scenario. It looks like the pressure is being put on from both, I do believe, Xplosive and Kenny. The down's going to come through on Dezonide. They're going to continue to push forward. They need to get this decap to stop to the bleeding. But right now, a ton of damage is put on Xplosive. They might have to attack 2 hills at once to stretch out the defense from the Pittsburgh Knights.
Raised in the middle of the map here by Info. They're pressing 2 into it against Raver. He's going to be a little bit red, but not fully damaged. He might go down inside the second half home hill. They get it, which allows Praized to push up into it. They're going to have an extra angle there to try to put damage, and they're going to get the triple cap dominations to start being threatened. Fights one all over the map. eUnited will find themselves round number 1 of map number 2, right where they left off. That was a hell of a retake. Once again, eUnited finding ways to rotate around the map, taking fights 2v1, finding a player on an island, making him the odd man out, and getting the kill to make it 4v3 and continue to pressure. I mean, also, it doesn't hurt that you can put Powerz into 1v1 spots and expect him to win it at B Hill. I mean, that just makes life easier, doesn't it?
There was a great moment there for the Knights to where, yeah, he was able to overextend. They finally got the mismatch. They attacked the home mill of eUnited. I do believe they got the decap as well, but tranquilo, you need to relax here. In that situation, a player got eliminated. Dezonide did all he could to try and backtrack, but that 2v1 from Xplosive and Kenny was too much. The moment they got control of the bottom half of the hill, it was just over for the Pittsburgh Knights.
Well, right now, Boltox down by both teams. Bottom side of the map toward Bandstand, and eUnited will match up the 2-man push to the bottom of the map. Praized is full red, but he's flashed. He tried to get into the face of Raver, but wasn't quick enough, wasn't able to do it. 4v3 on the map right now. They need to find a down or an out, and right now, it's not coming through in either way. Xplosive trying to get some damage onto the back, but that is 2 down for eUnited. Kenny will be last alive here inside of the info until Praized comes off the respawn. They're going to be pressuring up here momentarily on the Praized. This should be a quick Pittsburgh Knights round as they are already on the home hill of eUnited. And now, see it bounce out of spawn. They know it's over just about as much as I do. That'll make it 1-1.
That aim from the smoke from Xplosive just hit him right into the face. The smoke grenades get headshots. I think that would have been one of them, but Pittsburgh Knights, as soon as they get control in that round, they stagger the deaths, momentum's on their side. They don't waste a single second there, so you got to give them props to be able to bounce back, but they trail 1 full map. You're going to have to really play lights out, keep momentum on your side, and do it one more time in map number 3 if you're looking to overtake eUnited. And in that weapon selection, you kind of saw pistols all around. You know the potential for that big weapon to go down. Bandstand and Cinema is there, so they want to be ready at a moment's notice if one team is daring enough.
Talons and Boltox out. Nobody picking them up off of spawn right now. Looks like everybody's going to go ahead and level this out. Kenny gets called out in the middle by Raver, and he goes down. Praized is going to get shot on by Raver as well, and this is where the strength of the Pittsburgh Knights comes into play. The 1v1 situation, able to get pressure on from multiple angles and force your opponent to make. Yep, I mean, that's it. Call the Songbirds. That's a 2-1. Pittsburgh Knights. They will take it into the last round of the first half where they lead. They're looking to only extend it up 3-1. That's a beautiful back-to-back rounds by them. And eUnited, I think the wrench they have to throw into the game plan is they have to stop letting Pittsburgh Knights take these 1v1s, take these shotgun fights where they're able to pressure up onto eUnited.
This weapon selection pretty crucial for PK. They put that red shot down. It's easy for United to go to the bottom half of the map and put that big weapon down, but you see a lot of teams today, I was about to say lately, have been hovering over that Cinema. But in order to neutralize that weapon advantage, even if United likes to fight towards up top, you almost have to put it down low. And we're going to get a drop shot. Honestly, since the changes to escalation, the weapon change, we haven't seen a ton of that drop shot going out. So United are getting ready for that big play potential. They just have to come through. We've seen Pittsburgh Knights love this fight in the past. How do they fare against it here now? 2-2 split is going to be the starting strategy.
King of the drop shot, Kenny doesn't even go to the bandstand. Pittsburgh Knights send 2 in very quickly. It's going to be Xplosive now filtering out, trying to get shots on. They finally get the down onto Raver. Praized pushes straight up, not slowing up either. He rolls straight at Monkyz as well. Like, when I say, oh my God, what a flank by Powerz. Where did that man come from? Somebody stop him.
It doesn't matter. You tried, my man. You tried. Nice little effort coming through, but eUnited is going to be able to tie this one up 2 rounds apiece. And honestly, these last couple of rounds, really everything is bet on that initial. Neither one of these teams letting the other team get a chance to get some quick early eliminations. They try to grab some meat shields to try and body block, but from there, that neutral, because of the drop shot being down low, is kind of like a free hill for either one of these teams if they win that exchange in towards the middle. But with the retro being placed down low versus a hammer burst on the other side for the Pittsburgh Knights, you got to think this advantage early on has to go over towards the retro because of that close quarters combat.
Well, now with the hammer burst and the retro down there for both squads, kind of favoring different sides. The retro will probably get the nod for most people. We're going to have to hear how this round goes out. There's no better way to hear than the official partner Gears Esports with Astro Gaming. Leading sound of carrier, I believe. And if you ask me, and that's not even, oh my God, Praized, there you go. What an answer.
I wish somebody would have tried to help Monkyz there, try to get that elimination, but Sumuns to make Kenny bleed out there, forcing Praized back. Praized gets that elimination on Raver, even though he does get taken out. That's going to be a big trade to come through. Sumuns in a rock and a hard place. He gets downed out. Dezonide finds himself lucky enough to be rewarded that drop shot, and as eUnited captures their hill back, they'll be trailing 8 points, which isn't a lot in the limelight, but it's just enough to put the pressure on you to have to make those moves. You need to figure out where the right play is and go from there, and it all starts with figure out where Dezonide is at with that drop shot.
They get a kill, which is a 4v3 on the map for just a moment. The flash is out. Kenny's trying to get into the face of Monkyz. He's not going to be able to get that down. The player for the Pittsburgh Knights that respawn actually helped with that Lancer fire and was able to help get that down. Now leaves Praized in a 2v1 himself inside the info. Goes for the reaction shot, doesn't get it to go. He's going to be left to die inside of the info. Raver with a long-range flash over the top of Powerz. Powerz will have a lot of early damage. Won't have the down just yet. Finally trying to get those last few pellets. There's the down across the map, but I don't believe anybody's in the area to kill him, so they're going to get that easy revive off.
I would say a big down on Monkyz. Xplosive just unable to clean that one up. Revive's going to come through. Praized going to have to basically do it all by his lonesome. Well-placed flash. The revive does come off, and he lands a brick, and we know him as the bricklayer. Xplosive going to clean up that kill on Sumuns. There goes the second one as Praized gets 2. Xplosive getting a little bit ahead of himself. Raver doing what he can to try and even it up. Only gets rewarded 1 as the Z Bros move forward. They're trying to go home hill to home hill and try to stretch these numbers out, but it's actually a rotation from Powerz. He knows the neutral is just as important, leaving Praized to get the decap and backtrack. And that's going to be an important decap coming through from Praized because you're wasting the team's time. That allows you to get that man up over towards the neutral if you so choose.
They couldn't get the decap on E. They've got 3 players in the area, but Deza with that hammer burst lined up to put out damage onto Powerz. They finally get it down. Kenny tries to move up to try to get an easy kill and an easy pick. Xplosive will finally get one there on Sumuns. You see Dezo getting pressured now by 2 multiple members. Gonna bounce around. There's the quick cleanup. You see on the opposite side of the map, Praized is left in a 1v. Raver is down. I don't know if anybody's gonna make it anywhere quick enough. There's a quick answer. Powerz will have a shot on, but Monkyz is there against him. Powerz with a wrap will get the kill. No hills in favor of Pittsburgh Knights. eUnited pressuring the home hill of the Pittsburgh Knights. Xplosive will be shot on by the 90-degree angle. He has to be careful not to lose his life. Powerz with 2 more kills to his name, and they are in control. They are 30 seconds away from a round count victory. I don't know if you even go for the triple cap domination without it being somebody off of respawn, because Powerz, he's on a kill spree. He's going for streaks. I don't even know what streaks would be in Gears. Might be a hammer, a dawn strike, but he's as close as anybody. There was some sayings there.
Another gut punch coming out from eUnited. Honestly, I don't know how many of these gut punches the Pittsburgh Knights can take before they start coming out flat. They're in it in these rounds towards the very end. And you talk about plays right there. Kenny bounce another off the stat board play. You kind of said it. They're not going to go for that triple cap unless somebody comes out of respawn. That's because Kenny chose kills over hills. He went through the juice, got necessary Lancer fire to make those shotgun fights on the home hill that much easier. And he never once looked back. He never once tried to track back to catch that neutral hill because he realized how important those eliminations were. Because if the Pittsburgh Knights squeak through, if they get 1 or 2 kills and find a way to capture that hill, all that work, all that effort was for nothing.
eUnited have now taken the lead in map number 2 on Pittsburgh Knights map pick. They are 2 rounds away from a 2-0 10-5 victory over the Pittsburgh Knights. Pittsburgh Knights will not go quiet. There's no way they're going to let them come away with this victory that easily. Powerz, though, finding the first kill here in this round. And now with that flash, we'll try to pressure up on a Sumuns. Finds a second, rolls out, almost rolled right into the shotgun and Monkyz. But, I mean, with that kill, that's 3 more. Powerz, I think that's 9 dating back to last round, to be honest with you. I'm pretty sure he's at 17-6. I think he has 9 in a row, PR. I wish I could get a count on it.
Right now, it just looks like eUnited just all the confidence in the world. Nothing seemingly slowing down. You talk about 17-1-6. That man Powerz going on a terror. Even in rounds, you look like the Pittsburgh Knights just dominating. Have full control. It looks like lost hope for eUnited and their fans. Players like Xplosive, Powerz, Kenny, and Praized all just come up and clutch when they need it most. Used to call it an optic effect, but now you're going to call it the eUnited effect as they begin to heat up right before that mid-split payoff. And that's when you want to start catching fire. We talked about it early on, and now we're seeing it right before our very eyes.
We see it right before our very eyes as eUnited is heating up. Drop shot bottom, M-bar top, and eUnited, they're going to put their pressure on that M-bar. They're going to try to get it in the hands of Powerz. Drop shot in the hands of Raver. Not sure if it's come out just yet. I'd like to know where he is with it. They try to throw the shock to block Powerz out. Raver has it in his hand. He has it quickly loaded, goes through the window, gets damage onto Kenny, but doesn't get the kill. Xplosive bouncing around, trying to make something happen. Raver continues to play back on him, plays defensively, is able to get that kill. Kenny will throw that flash. He's now playing that fountain, but Powerz ever lurking with the M-bar. Gets that kill. E-Hill will be ready for Kenny, and now you see Powerz. He says, never mind, you're coming off spawn. I don't need to do this. There's no reason. I'm on a 10 kills.
Barely misses that one. Honestly, no matter what he does with this shot, if he hits a body shot, that is going to be success. He's trying to catch Dezonide, being the sneaky goose he is, trying to sneak past. But you got a 2v2 going down on that neutral, but it's going to be up to the Knights here to make some sort of a push, make some sort of a play. And you see a shock grenade already stuffing them out of the bandstand. So they're going to be given less position over from eUnited. But if you look at where Kenny's positioning right now, if that play gets made towards the bottom, it looks like eUnited are going to stretch over towards the top half of the map almost simultaneously. So Knights have to have their head on swivel. They have to be ready for any sort of play to come at them at a moment's notice.
Look at Kenny just bouncing around. The longer he's alive, the harder it is. eUnited actually rotated over. They got a kill of their own, which evens things up on the map. It makes it a 3v3. I believe Xplosive is trying to force off this 1v1 against Sumuns, and Powerz now pushing down toward that E-Hill. What a shot onto Raver, gets the kill, and now Sumuns is caught between a rock and a hard place and 3 players from eUnited. They are going to get that E-Hill back in their favor very quickly. Praized full red. He has to trade out. They have to filter out. Powerz is now going to be full red. He's going to go down. Praized is there for the quick pick. Monkyz will have to retreat. 2-to-1 hill advantage still in favor of eUnited. They are going to cross the 200-point threshold very soon. This is getting ugly, PR.
And ugly indeed. I don't even know what's going to happen right now other than a back against the wall play. eUnited find a way to flank them from their own home hill. Powerz putting on a show. Praized able to get a down on Sumuns. Cleanup's coming through. Dezonide doing all he can. He's able to get it down. A couple of kills, but Praized yet again. The thorn in the side. Going for the triple cap domination. Powerz getting that final kill. And with that, eUnited will take the map 5-2 and the series 2-0.
Oh boy! What a matchup to end the night. eUnited. Woo! And a big 2-0-10-5. Pistol Fingers out from Powerz. He said they might as well be Twitter Fingers because all that talking don't mean smack till you have to get on the court and answer with your back on the ground. My God, eUnited came to play today. And what a show put on by them. I mean, absolutely fantastic. I'd like to find other words or sayings to say it, but I mean, I'm pretty sure I'd be called biased, and we know there is no bias casting here, PR.
I just call it right down the middle. You call it as it is. I go ahead and know it. And my bird out there, I didn't know my bird was an eUnited fan. I hear him chirping away after that victory did come through. I'm going to have to go out there and say, hey, we lost our predictions, but we got blessed with a great matchup. And honestly, this is what I wanted to see. Pittsburgh Knights, we've seen them bounce back from these scenarios before. Unfortunately, they're not going to take first. I talk about there was that small sliver of hope that possibility was there, but eUnited, man, the story is there. The picture perfect right before that mid-split payoff. What a time to catch fire. And I said it time and time again, almost literally every single event. When this team catches fire right before the major, it is a scary sight. They go into these majors with everything to prove, a chip on their shoulder, and we've seen them go undefeated before. We've seen them complete a perfect season with Penny and Powerz, but can they do it again? They've been in a slump so far to start the season, but what a way to end this season.
I mean, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. I said it in that little matchup, that little content piece we saw earlier. It don't the regular season can count for everybody and anybody that they want it to count for. And I'm sure eUnited and the people, the good people over there at eUnited would agree with me. When it comes time for champions to take their place, that's when it matters. That's when all the chips are on the line. Push to the middle of the table, and you got to come away with dubs. And right now, eUnited look like they are heating up at the right time. I couldn't be happier for them as a squad. Pittsburgh Knights, these are two big losses for them. They need to figure it out, and they need to figure it out very quickly. Something that they weren't able to do and not really able to find themselves in a position to do was get their Lancers and get the help that they have found themselves getting in more and more matchups throughout this season, throughout this split. They have done a fantastic job when they've won, being able to pressure multiple players around the map with Lancer Fire, be able to rotate and out-rotate their opponents. And it seemed like today there was just not much they could do correctly against eUnited. There was not much that they could come away with in the way of tactically moving around the map or outmaneuvering eUnited. So that's a really fantastic matchup, but they need to get back in the lab. And I know Charles, like you said, he's one hell of a coach, and I know he's one hell of a coach. He's going to get those guys right back on the grind, saying, "Look, we need to help each other out a little bit more."
And honestly, Colin, with that win, obviously United moves up a couple placings, but there's somebody else that moved up a couple placings. I do believe Burns, eUnited, the boys on the team, social media crew, Clerky, everyone under that eUnited banner owes Colin some sort of jersey. No. They owe him some sort of a prize. I think with that win, Colin, you might have taken first. You might have taken first in the predictions. Give this man a prize.
No. You know what my prize is?
What?
eUnited, if you are still in the chat, and I pray to the gods above that you are here to hear this. I am pretty sure, let me double check before I say it, but I am pretty sure your best friend and mine, PR, a guy by the name of Taylor Reflections Noble.
Oh no, I didn't see this one coming.
If I go back and I gotta find some predictions. I gotta make sure that I get this correct before.
I don't want to hear it.
Let's see, because I started the predictions off. I've been really good at doing that every day, waking up. No, Taylor, he picked Pittsburgh Knights. So eUnited, free flections. He stays free, my man. He stays free as a dollar store sale. My man stays free like oxygen outside. He stays free like the sunshine above. I don't know. I don't even care who the rest of y'all picked. I'm not going to say who the rest of y'all picked. That's the only one that matters to me. That's my prize. That's my prize, that the social media manager knows that Taylor Reflections Noble picked Pittsburgh Knights to beat y'all. That's my gift. That is for you.
I would love for like all the casters to get some sort of airdrop from eUnited, especially made one-of-a-kind shirt. Reflections. just in time. You guys got 2 days to make it happen, just in time for the major. If it makes it happen, Colin, I wouldn't blame you if you took off the coat, you took off the tie, just to have that for day one.
See, I'm gonna get a shirt with Kenny's egghead emoji, and when they are in grand finals again, and I get to look at all the haters and the doubters in the face, I'm just gonna hit him with the Superman. I'm gonna be like, oh, by the way, egghead's still here. He's still shooting.
Scrambling up some breakfast for you guys at home. But honestly, this really shows throughout the entirety of this season how close some of these matchups were. You had some of the top teams losing to some of the lower ranked teams, but then those lower ranked teams were just kind of all over the place. So eUnited, one of those teams, I wouldn't call them a lower ranked team, but throughout the season, they've been a middle of the pack. They've been losing matchups that I didn't expect them to lose against certain teams, but they're winning these big matchups towards the end of the season. The Pittsburgh Knights matchups, the other, I do believe they did lose to Hive early on, but that did go a game number 3. And Hive is actually a beast team throughout the season. Yeah, they had some slumps towards the end, but that goes to show whether you're playing against one of the best teams in the game, one of the worst teams in the game, eUnited is here to play, and they will play indeed.